We're here with Daze Feathers. We're gonna have our first spark session with her today. How are you today, Daze?
I am great. How are you doing today?
I'm amazing. Great weather.
Yeah, look, the weather is given. Philly is acting right. Let's keep it going.
That's what I'm saying, girl. Tell me just a little bit about yourself as a creative. Like, what yourself, how you would want people to know you.
So at baseline, I'm in a very visual business. I have been creating since about 2010, 2011 independently.
Hmm.
I am still independent, and pretty much anything that I kind of pull in my stratosphere is literally just through networking or me running my mouth or just some type of in between or somebody just caring enough to mention me in a room and bringing me in. Um, but if I want to be remembered by anything, I want people to be free or to think of freedom attached to me,
Hmm.
because a lot of times I feel like how we kind of all grew up and we're indoctrinated, we kind of think that things have to be one way.
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be a way, like, or we kind of latch to people that are visually free,
Hmm.
and because they feel like it's kind of beside themselves to attain.
Right.
Like we kind of look at Janelle Monae and like, oh my gosh, she's so free, she's so beautiful. I wish I could be. And it's like, no, she's literally a living proof. So you can do it too. It's not like oh, well, that's just her. I can never be like, no, she's literally attainable. She's living proof. She's from a local area. Like she's not this far fetched idea. Even though
Right.
she is, but she's not.
Like I actually I love that because I feel like we look at people that we like look up to, that we grew up with, and like we still see them now. And we're like, a lot of people are like, wow, like that's not attainable for me, or just like that it has to be that way for them to also achieve anything that they want to do. So I love
Right.
that. That's awesome.
Right. Yes. Yes.
As a creative, like, what are some of your favorite sources to take inspiration from when working on a project?
So it's gonna sound so cliche, but for me, it's like life source. So like, I love people watching. I love laughing. I love experiencing just the small mundane moments, because I feel like that is my biggest inspiration. But like on a literal sense, I love to go through archives. I
Okay.
love I know that print mags aren't the best for the environment, but I still love being able to like just physically go through images. I also love that like we have things like Pinterest and,
Mm.
believe it or not, I know Instagram and just anywhere that we can host images and I can like dig through limitless is a huge inspiration for me. Um when like creating to like pull or source, stuff.
I like that. And I think one thing is that's so great today is that the internet, like the world seems so much more connected that
Mhm.
like it's just so much easier. I feel like for people to access things like that.
Yeah, because like at a point we used to have like Tumblr, and Tumblr was like great because you had these like high quality images that you could access and all the things like that until it kind of got a little corrupted. But but Tumblr used to be like a great source of just being able to like look through archives and stuff. Because that's I love that. I love that we're in this nostalgia era of like looking back and looking at how things are just repeated. Nothing is really unique to us.
The
It's all been
cycle of
done.
life, right?
The
Everything
cycle
comes
of
back in fashion and life. It's the cycle.
yeah, yes, yes. As I fidget with my pen.
How do you determine that your content is accessible and inclusive to a broad audience?
So I went back and forth on this question, right? Because my vantage point is as a black woman. That's always going to be my vantage point. Um, but I feel like this question is really unique, and I love that we're having this conversation more often.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like it's so funny at the same time because I was like, we've never had the opportunity to not be inclusive. You know what I mean?
That's
I feel
true.
um like at baseline, if it benefits black people, it benefits everyone. Whereas in other scenarios, it is a little bit more self-serving. So I feel like at the baseline of my work, I will always advocate and have black women at the center of whatever my message and efficacy is, or black people in general, black, them, they, everybody under their hood. But outside of that, my baseline is always to just encourage people to just be themselves, and that it's not exclusive again to one person or one denomination or whatever. Like, we all can be free and inclusive. It's not a new concept. I hate that they kind of dress diversity inclusion as something that like black people and people of color have just like kind of fell out and existed like as of last year. Like, no, like, we've been here. It shouldn't take for you having a business or working with other people to consider that, hey, other people exist outside of you. Like, that
Right.
should be your baseline. It shouldn't be like this thing like, okay, well, we need marketing, we need diversity. No, it should just be your baseline. We shouldn't even have to talk about it. Is we should have a black girl, we should have an Asian girl, we should have somebody that's Native American. We should, like, it should just be natural, normalized. I think in 2030 we are beyond this conversation. Like, we should be, we're a melting pot. We're corny if we don't include everybody. Like,
Right.
you're doing your business, you're doing your art a disservice, because in some way, shape, or form we pull all from each other.
Right.
Now, have we been the pioneers? Yes. But I'd be also remiss to say that we all are, we're a huge melting pot. So like, for my business, as long as you love the arts, as long as you respect other people, then it is for you. Like, that's the
Right.
baseline. I'm not like going out of my way to be like, it has to meet these people, because I know I'll translate, because that's my energy. It's not, let me factor this in because it's a popular component. I feel like as of the last couple years, we've had this conversation, or maybe post George Floyd, unfortunately, rest in peace to him. But like, it shouldn't be this nuanced thing. Like, let's include it. Let's like, no, it just should be your baseline. It shouldn't even have to be this huge conversation. It just should be included, simply.
I
Mm-hmm.
actually love like the way that you like brought that together, because I feel like a better word, because at the end of anything is connecting, like, right, especially um on an online platform. You, whoever you are, like, whoever you are, you have to make sure that you connect with your audience. And I feel like that's a better word than inclusive, because I
Mm-hmm.
understand what you're saying about the word inclusive. Like, everything should be inclusive. Um, but I feel like connection is, um, it's just something that like the world like thrives on. Human beings, like, we thrive on like connection, and that's how we grow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because that's what we're made of. That's literally our thread. That's our fabric. So to be in this unfortunate era now where we're just being really dismissive and not inclusive at all,
Yeah.
is really unfortunate and a disservice to our whole culture, as a team, not even as one entity, just as a whole team, because we all have added something collectively to the pot at some point, you
Right.
know.
That's so true.
Hmm.
um how do you feel like you nurture your online community in some ways that it has helped strengthen your brand?
So without even thinking about it, because again, connecting is a big thing for me, because I felt like as an artist before, it was so like popularized and advocated for. It was very it was sketchy, yo. Like, it was rough. Like, it wasn't this, it wasn't this, oh, all of us can do it together. And no,
Right.
it was very like, I'm from both Philly and Jersey, but very much hustled and bustled here as an artist in Philly. And I feel like we took so much energy trying to prove that we can do it individually, that it kind of remissed um the community part. We silo ourselves. So now I feel like, fast forward, it's so much beautiful that we're encouraging community, because that's it's initially how we grow. So as far as my space, without thinking about it, I love the repost factor. I love featuring people in my audience that I like, love, or I see doing things, and it's not even like on a schedule or rotation or for a likeness for likeness. It's not at all. It's literally I told you I scroll, I dive, I'm looking through the images,
It's
and
genuine.
it's genuine. It's like
Right.
if you are posting your work, you want it to be seen. If it's great, I'm gonna yes you to death in the comments. No, I don't have to know you. No, I don't need photos from like. It's not that. It's literally I know how vulnerable it is to be an artist
Right.
on display
Mhm.
for people to judge and have opinions. So if you didn't went the whole gambit of you didn't got the photographer and you didn't got or got the graphic design product and you didn't did and then you didn't put it out and it's actually beautiful and it's your perspective, it's not like a rinse and repeat. I'm here for it. I'm always advocate for it.
Right.
So like for me and my community, a lot of these people have followed me for literally the whole duration of me hustling and bustling out here. So if I see them doing events, if they have new projects. I love like a theme month, like if it's Women's History Month in particular. I know so many artists doing a million things in the city. I'm going to give you a random ass shout out and show like we the quickest way to give each other visibility is by literally exposing each other to each other's audiences
Right.
because you just never regardless of us being a connection you don't know who each other knows or who needs to know you.
Mhm.
So what little I can do while I'm still growing my own platform is I can show you mine because I get a lot of like nice traffic to be somebody that's a small like micro niche artist. So with little eyes I do get I repost and I kind of keep my community in the know of like, hey, y'all looking for things to do, or you looking for the hot DJs, or you looking for a model for work, or this photographer that you might need, depending on the situation. You won't have to look. Like I'm very big on cross promoting. Like that is
Mhm.
my jam. I love that. And then in a way, to your point, it did like kind of instill like uh, a brand. What's the word I'm looking for? Um, like brand trust. Initially, like, oh, okay, we can respect that she's her own entity and she's not trying to take up the space, but she's trying to add to it. Which is a
Right.
different energy.
I think that's one thing that helps people connect with you. Like you said that you genuinely like, like to support other people.
Hmm.
Um and just like not I guess like just not being for yourself and not just being like trendy about it, or
Hmm.
you're just doing something like just out to get some money. Like
Yeah.
it I feel like people connect with people that they can relate to, and then they feel that's real, right? That's awesome.
Yeah, because I'm at baseline again. They're vulnerable, like knowing or feeling that feeling of like you're just on a desolate island and you just trying to kind of carve your way out of it. I'm like the whole purpose of us coming before the people and the people that came before us is to carve a way. Like
Right.
it's not supposed to be harder to connect. It should be easier at this point. Like you should be able to have community that's earned,
Right.
but you should rightfully if you're doing the things you should have support. You need
Right.
support.
I think this is awesome also seeing how like big social media is now, how people are growing on social media and they're getting the community, they're getting the support from people, all just from like when it started out, like nobody ever thought that it was going to be this. So I think it's like so like awesome to see like literally everything that you're talking about. We've seen it happen like on social media. Um, and
Cause
community has been a
girl,
thing like way before social media. So I think it's like really just like amazing when you can like nurture an online community because people only see you for like a 1 or 2 minute video or pictures. They are not actually seeing you in person.
yeah, that's why it's so important. Cause I started out pretty much on MySpace.
Wow, I remember
Or
MySpace.
okay, or let me rephrase. I had a social presence on MySpace, but I really started to like push Daze Feathers Facebook wise. That's where really Daze Feathers kind of like spearheaded was Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
and I was kind of. I guess my audience was going to be your teachers, your your managers, your aunties, and all the things. And then from there, I kind of grew. But ironically, I was really slow to adapting to socials
Yeah.
because I felt like it was invasive. So
Okay.
I was like, I was like, ah. And I'm not a big jump on it because everybody doing it type of person. I naturally have to be attracted to a thing,
Right.
and I just was like, I was slow to Twitter. I was slow to all the things. Like I was like, I don't. And then slowly migrated to those things. But Instagram has been the one I've been on the longest and most consistently. Twitter, I do not do it all anymore. I,
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 I don't really
I
know that much about Twitter either. Like I feel like Twitter is like it was one of those trends.
yeah, and it had an awesome moment, and we got to see it. But like this whole new name and rebrand, I don't know nothing about. I don't subscribe nothing to
Me
that.
either.
And the list is starting to get a little short, but as of right now, as far as I advise all artists, free press, free publicity, do your socials,
Yeah.
because like you cannot knock that exposure.
Right.
You can't knock it. Like that access is different, you know. And people try to undercut it, get around. I get it, and all the things. I get it, but get in, do your thing, get out. It don't have to be more or less of anything. Like we make the reality, not the other way.
Exactly. Like
We have
I
to
kind of
participate.
understand what everyone was saying. Like you kind of get what people are saying about it, but like when you look at it, like for anyone that has a business or anyone that's trying to do like honestly anything, like it's exposure. Like it's a place for you to showcase yourself and people to see you, and
Yes.
that's an awesome. I feel like that's just like an awesome opportunity like to have in this day and age.
Cause girl, if I had the time of day to tell you how many times even back then, how much ridicule I was getting from my community for treating my socials like a portfolio.
Mm,
It was not popular 10, 20 like years ago or 15 years ago. It was more it was very much social. Now in other countries they were using it like a political, or like they were organizing on it. But as far as us, American
mm-hmm.
Western media, we were using more social. But I knew it was tea. I was like, oh,
You like saw
so,
it
so
before it even became a thing.
yeah, I was like, oh, I could just, because I'm not, believe it or not, as outward as the visuals and the art is, I am not that. I'm a little bit more introvert. I'm extroverted, introverted. It depends on the day and time. Okay, but socials was like a great. I was like, oh, I could network myself without having to talk too much, because it's a little cringe for me to be like,
Hmm.
I do the
Right.
thing is, it's like if you organically find me amazing, I love you. If you don't know who I am, you can find out. If not, that's okay too. Like I'm very, however the wave blows, I'm cool. But yes, girl, if people were like, why you don't want to, why you treating your socials like that? Why you not following me this? Why not? I'm just like, I'm trying to create my audience.
Right.
Like I want people, and mind you, I'm young in doing this. So you uh a late teen, early 20s, no one is taking you serious. They think you just out here playing, you gallivanting. No, I'm serious. I need you to look at my socials and know I'm serious. I needed to translate it across all my mediums. Like I need you to know I'm not playing so that I get hired.
Right.
And the
No. Right.
people trying to talk about Saturday night on my comments, like, y'all, come on, read
Different
the room.
priorities.
Different, come on, Miley Cyrus, come on, Two Lives, Hannah Montana, come on. I'm not. No, we're not talking about that here. Let's keep. This is all professional, but it is beautiful to see how like social has grown, and now everybody can't stop selling everything on there
Right. Now it's kind of like
now. Like cringe.
this is just where we're at now, right?
Yeah. Yes, yeah, yes, yeah.
What does your workflow look like on a project from initial idea to publish?
Organized chaos. Like I was telling you prior, I really love to deep dive into images. I drive my creative friends crazy when we collaborate because if a normal person, when they make a mood board, they put the exact image that they are pulling from. I will have the image and I'm just pulling from the color in the lady's skirt. Like I don't, like I literally, I pull a little bit of something from everywhere. I like the eyeshadow in this picture. I like the posing in this. But initially it starts off as a hard visual deep dive. And then I'm a huge advocate of mood boards. Whether it's physical and you're literally cutting them out in digital collaging, or I love to do it quickly on my phone because it's the easiest to send to like photographers and stuff,
Right.
so it's not like a miscommunication because I know that I'm sending 80 million signals. So to alleviate the issues, I love to do that, and then from there, depending on how I pull very much in my feelings when I'm creating.
Okay.
So depending on in the midst of the visual deep dive and all those things, whatever color or theme rings the truest is what I'll try to work on first, and then build from there. So whether it's the texture of the shoes that makes the most sense, or I have the outfit, or that backdrop, I love the grittiness of that. I'm gonna play the clothes off of that. Like it's all whatever sparks I play from there. I'm not really a routine 1, 2, 3 process type of person. I'm very much a feel however it goes, and then you get into the preliminaries of okay, I know where the set locale is. How are we matching up the schedules? How are we executing? 9 times out of 10, I'm bringing props and stuff to set too. Like it just all depends on who I'm with, working
Okay.
with, and the project and how to show up. Because a lot of times I don't, I never can just show up as the talent for stuff. I always am playing multiple hats. So they're like, we know you here, but can you do a little of the set, or can you give us your 3 cents? And I appreciate it. It's respect because
Right.
people don't have to consider your opinion at all. So,
But I think
but
that's what
yeah,
makes you like unique as a creative because people like know your strengths and they know like what you bring to the table when creating a project. Like they know what they can have you for, you know?
yes. Yes, and I really that's a huge compliment. And it is not remiss on me, legit. I really appreciate that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, what initially inspired your love for creativity and everything that you do?
I cannot go without saying on the record, my grandma Barbie. She literally was the person that was taking me by the hand, and whether we were going to Barnes and Nobles when it used to be on Rittenhouse Square,
Hmm.
or we were going to the Merriam Theater, or we were see plays, and like she was the first time I got to see Lou Ross. Like it was so many like jazz, like so many things. The Kimmel Center, the DoubleTree, like there were so many moments where she always included the arts in my sphere. She used to make me and my sister sit and watch the credits all the way to the end. And as a kid, you're like, oh, come on, we're ready to go. All the people are leaving. But the whole time she was foreshadowing over my life, like literally to be a part of the credits now and do those things. Like she knew, she prophesied over me. But she was my reason. But artistically outside of in my home, um Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was my first introduction to um an artist who was multi hyphenate.
Okay.
Like the fact that I was watching a music video. I remember starkly as a child watching him in a music video, and then they said, "Okay, cut." He gets up and walks to the director chair, and then he's looking through footage. That took me out, like took me out. I was like, "Oh, there's levels to this creative." Oh, but that and Michael for sure. Still to this day, like that is my number one. Like nobody's touching. But outside of that, R&B,
Okay.
music,
Music.
music for sure. I'm like that. If there was no other door, it was that door,
Okay.
because because music, especially if you were a '90s kid,
Mm-hmm.
was so ingrained to our everything. Like if we had sitcoms, it was a soundtrack. If
Right.
the whole Disney run,
Mm-hmm.
you got goodness, who am I blanking? You got people the mega stars, the black mega stars doing like Waiting to Exhale, that whole babyface soundtrack, like all of that stamped. Like it made you want to be a part of it.
I feel like it was just like such a different time. Like it I know like every era has its thing, but I feel like just growing up in that era, it was just and now living in this era is just it's like night and day a little bit.
It made me feel like a TT because I'm like, dang, now I'm like the one reminiscing on the times. But it really was. I mean, it wasn't perfect, but like the art. that came out, and there were so many different variations of like greatness. And
Yes.
I know neo soul is not really, a lot of people don't love that term. The real artists don't love that term, but because they don't like to be branded. But
Right.
that era of that sound like changed, like the Erica Badu's, the Jills, the
I feel like
Maxwell's,
when
the
people talk about, I'm so sorry. I feel
no,
like
you
when people talk about like how like black artists like aren't really like getting enough recognition, I'm like, but I grew up like seeing like not like black artists, but like, yeah, artists like
yeah,
actors and like it was a lot of like R&B groups. Like you had Destiny's Child, you had solo artists too. You
702.
you had black. You had so many different people. But I feel like a lot of the movies and TV shows that I grew up watching, like I grew up seeing people that looked like me. So I just feel like maybe things are like changing now, but like the era that we came from, we definitely like saw like like the representation. It might not have been like the best representation that everyone like wanted, but like I saw like Denzel. I feel like he's like one of like the greatest actors that we
And
know,
this,
right?
yeah.
And like I feel like he was in like so many movies of my childhood. But I don't know. I feel like there were so many different people doing it, and like maybe they didn't have like long, extensive careers, but there was
Mhm.
like different people like Vivica Fox, Gabrielle Union. I don't know, just did Megan Good. Like
Yeah,
we had people.
we it literally, well, it's like it's a beautiful bittersweet um um thing to kind of reflect on, because as much as they were in our face and we did have representation, it was literally only because of the engines that they were kind of facilitating on their own. Like, once we got older, we kind of realized that
Hmm.
we never had the backing or representation that we needed.
Like they didn't.
That's why they, yes, they did it, which
Yeah.
was why it was so inspiring, because they was like, okay, you're not gonna give us a chance. Jay-Z's perfect example. You're not gonna give me a chance, then I'm just gonna push it myself.
Hmm.
Like the we literally grew up with seeing Erica be as eccentric as she is, and also have a Bilal, like also have Luther Vandross, because even if you weren't around for his peak of the 80s and all that other stuff, we still got a 2000s Luther before he untimely passed. So like, we got to see, or that's why it was so inspiring, because we literally got to see so many, to your point, variations of blackness.
Hmm.
It just sucks that they, we get older, and if you really digging into their stories and stuff, you saw that they call them underrated because they didn't get they had to fight twice as hard to show
Right.
the imagery that we were getting. It wasn't like this, oh, it was a renaissance, but they had to literally force kick in the door to make it one, you know.
It's crazy to me. Like now, I feel like I didn't know any of this growing up. Like how Destiny's Child, nobody would dress them, but I love their
Yes.
fashions. Like we grew up like wanting to
Mama
dress like
Tina.
them and stuff like that. So it's just
Mama
like
Tina.
it is inspirational because even though a lot of people didn't want to back them, they still did it. We still loved it. They still made their money, and that is awesome.
Like, they literally pushed through that glass ceiling, and I feel like that was what was so inspiring about all the artists leading even up to the 90s, just seeing how black and brown people were relentless. Like, I don't care what you're talking about, I'm going to be in
Hmm.
here fly, I'm going to play my music,
Be
um
me.
and, and and do it how I want to do it. Like, and I feel like
Hmm.
that in itself is freedom. Like, that is revolutionary. Like, I loved it. I love that energy. It made
Yeah.
me want to be a part of it. Mm-hmm.
Right. I love
Mm-hmm.
that. And I feel like I love that you say that because I feel like, especially like online, sometimes the internet cannot still seem like a real place. And like a lot of people get discouraged because they're like, well, like my circumstances and like that. Like I can't do it like that. So it's just like, why should I even do it? Like no one's gonna support me because like I'm not like everybody else. But I feel like when you see people and they're like just uniquely being them. It's just something that's just so refreshing about that. And seeing people like that get support is just something that's really beautiful about that, I feel like.
It's inspiring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, what advice would you give to any aspiring creators?
So in true Virgo form, I got a I got a couple things, but we're gonna try to condense it. But I feel like it need to be said on the record so that it can be immortalized, right? So we gonna just flow. The first thing that I wrote was stop centering everyone's vantage point before establishing your own.
Love
So
that.
when we were talking about like audiences, I get that everyone is trying to hone their audience and they trying to grab whatever set attention for traction and visibility, but I feel like that's wasted energy because your targets are all over the place. Like if anything, work on harvesting, your neighbors that are to the left and right of you, because then that is easier to grow because it's already trusted energy there. You know what I mean? Like we were talking about brand trust. If I'm trying to chase what other influencers or digital creators or whoever is doing, then I kind of miss out on really connecting with my audience. So I feel like we got to get away from feeling like there's a specific formula for you to do the said thing. Like it's okay to have a baseline of okay, if you want engagement, do the things, but know who you are, know who your brand is, know who the audience you're trying to attract and translate to, and then work from there as opposed to feeling like I'm trying to go viral.
Right.
Like it's that's wasted energy. Another thing I was saying was admire, recreate, but don't copy and paste. Um, Everything, as we were talking about, has been recycled under the sun. Nothing is honestly new.
Right.
But it is important for us to, like I said, I deep dive and look at images all the time. I'm actually going to start posting where I was inspired from so people understand it. Like, it's not this independent vacuum. Like, I'm pulling, it is mine, but I'm still pulling
You
from
make it
someone else's
yours
work.
uniquely.
Yes, to
Yeah.
make it mine.
Hmm.
So because we in this culture of like, oh, it works for them, let me copy it. And it's like, it's cheap. You're cheapening yourself. You're cheapening your art. Like, show your capacity. Like, show how you can interpret. Like, and if you just copy and paste, and it doesn't really show what your range is.
Right.
um and that just plays into the same thing as like the answers you're looking for are no one can tell you.
Hmm.
Just all the like I've sat in seminars and I appreciate the tenacity again how we pedal, give people pedestals. um but again, their journey and story is unique to their brand and their story. Like,
Hmm.
hear them out but have enough discernment to pick what's for you and still establish
Love that
what
word.
isn't. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times people go with like these puppy eyes in these rooms and they're like, well, what can you give me? And what do you have? And how did you? It's just like, I respect it, but it's like they aren't gods. They don't have it all figured out. They
Mm.
just had enough courage to take the chance, to risk.
Mm.
So have that same courage and mindset for your brand. Be as delusional and cray cray until you get the result you need to get. You know. So no pedestals, no guys, no ego, just art. That's it. No, we nobody is over, above, or all of that. I feel like that's just we all have something to offer. You know.
Right.
Um, this is for me and for every other creative who overthinks and overanalyzes. Being overcritical of ourselves isn't always as conducive as we like to think it is. Don't position yourself to be your own worst friend. Like, know when to hold yourself accountable, but also know when it's time to grow. It's a balancing act. It's easier said than done.
Right.
But I want us to make it more normalized grace. Like, I know it's a catch all term and we say it so much, but it's a real term, it's a real thing. I feel like is as graceful as you are to your best homie when they going through a hard time, I need you to be able to give that to yourself.
Right.
Don't make it exclusive to, I'm not worthy of this because I didn't get it, I didn't win it, I didn't know. There's going to be pitfalls. You got to know how to love yourself through the W's and the L's. You got to kind of treat it with the same energy, because otherwise you ain't never gonna get nothing done. If you always like, this is horrible, this is a loss, like, no, that's wasted energy. If we can't get it this time, we gonna hit back, running. We gonna figure it out. We gonna pivot. We gonna, it's important that we are nice to ourselves because again, we are very vulnerable, when displaying our art to the world. So, in doing that, grace. We don't have all the steps. We don't have all the things. You're not supposed to have all the things. It's not by design. You're literally just supposed to, grow as you go. It's
Can't
fine.
grow as well unless you don't start.
Yeah, it's like you can't. How are you going to grow if you don't start? Learn your history.
Mm, that's a good
Study
one.
the greats.
That's a good
I'm
one.
only as good as the ones before me because I am on their shoulders. I feel like a lot of times people feel like I don't need it. That is ignorant, wasted energy. All the people that have soared before you have lived this life and done this whole thing before us. So it is important to know who the people are. Michael Jackson being one of those people I love and adore. Like literally, he set a president blueprint of perfection. I know is a hard perfection. It's almost crazy, but it literally set the tone. Like we not going below this,
Right.
and that's how it should be.
Hmm.
But if you don't follow the greats, you feel like your baseline is social media, and it's not.
Right.
It's not. I'm gonna need you to know who contributed to your garden for you in order to be able to pick flowers. Like it wasn't just there. Like I'm not here without again the artists that I mentioned. Because their courage is still my courage. They help me to know how to pivot and what stories I need to look for and how I need to show up professionally. The mystique of Prince, like what, like all those things. Literally taught me how to be an artist and how to appreciate, how to take it serious. It's not a joke. We laugh, we ha ha, we mock, but their contributions unmatched. They gave us so much. Um, what was my last one? Um, the last one was I know we chase perfection, but put the art out anyway. Um, don't trick yourself out of your spot. Like there, I know we was talking about perfection in the bar, but um, it's important that there is no perfect situation. It's not always going to lead or add up how you want it to, but it's important to still put the art out anyway. Because I mean, how else will you kind of track or gauge if you're growing or regressing if you don't have a timeline of like where you came from? Like it's important. Um, so yeah, that's that's my advice to upcoming creators. I just want us to be more tenacious, more ballsy, and stop being so much in our head. Like we have all the tools that we need, so we need to start acting like it. Like we got it. We got this. We will be okay. We have all that we need. Internally, we just need to execute.
How do you feel like your work has grown and changed since you first started digital creating?
I feel like it's grown so much. I feel like I was always anal about my work, but I feel like the more I began to create, the more I became more anal of the details. Um, because I always was anal of details, but I just feel like just the quality of images, the intentionality with the projects, um, again, black people will always be at the epicenter of my projects. Like that, it will always be the underlying theme, even if it's we on the beach and we chilling. Is we are encouraging black freedom worldwide. Like that's always the theme. But my work has literally, I can tell by the energy that it attracts that it has grown so much too. Um,
Okay.
from the early, it's always been good energy, but for the most part, but like it really is like garnishing a different type of eyes and energy and respect. Since I've started. Hmm.
What is your favorite memory working on a project?
I don't have a single one because I feel like everyone has kind of been a stepping stone to the next.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'd be remiss, that's my word. I'd be remiss if I did not mention Captured by Kyle Clayton, photographer who I have shot with for years, who like many of the people I've worked with have allowed me the freedom to just paint my brush and kind of just include my, concepts and mesh them with his. And we literally just grew together for years, just always doing creative arts projects. It's been some of the funnest times because we got to experiment without like a harsh timeline. He is somebody who I love to work with because he knows how to match my energy. He knows when I'm doing too much. He knows how to follow my rhythm. Him and Natasha Cornway. If I say her last name right, excuse me, or I'm sorry. But she's another one in my earlier years who was another phenomenal black photographer, female photographer. Um, and she was a person who had a bit more knowledge than me coming up. So she was a person that helped me learn while also shooting. So we got to do a lot of like fun and glitter and this and that and all the cute little trendy stuff. We were like, let's see our concept of or try the concept of. But yeah, they I don't have one. All of them have added to the Rolodex of building who I am.
Um, I love how you're like very grateful for all your experiences and just like for the people that you work with too. Like I feel like that's awesome.
I feel like that's old age. That's feel like it's older. It's just it's just like when you hit your 30s, it's like gratitude because it's like
I feel like
before
it's
I was like,
wisdom though. Like I like to call it wisdom because I feel like when you're a little bit younger, it can be a little.
it's fire. It's fire. It's exactly fire. Like I got something to prove. I ain't trying to y'all this roadblock. No, look. I was right. Okay, but now I understand time and place in regards if it didn't go my way I still did learn. I mean it's cliche but it's true. Like it's not really losses, it's lessons, you know.
Right. Yeah.
Mm.
I I love that. I have something similar where I'm like, if it's not like if it didn't happen, like it's not aligned and it's not something that you want in your life anyway, right?
Mhm.
Um, if any AI tools are used in your work, how do you navigate their use without feeling like you've lost a human touch? And like, how do you feel about AI in general?
So not to sound like an older millennial again. um but we literally grew up in a time where we had to make what we had enough. So, I mean, to see AI come to fruition to this level is it's like a gift and a curse. It's like in hindsight it would be a beautiful idea and concept. But the matter is the people who spearheaded and welded don't necessarily have the best interests for our human society. So and it's also if it's depleting our resources, I mean I don't know how helpful it's supposed to be. You know what I mean? But outside of that, um, I feel like, just like social media or like any other technological tool, it's a tool. But tools are made to be exercised through your own creativity. You shouldn't be relying solely on a robot for a human interaction to translate. I feel like um, do your do. I mean, I'm not going to be a judgment solely like you live your life, but as far as me, it's not like the top of my list. I'm pretty much kind of grandma to trying to understand the place because I understand it's here. But I just wish that there was more powerful, um, positive,
Hmm.
um, money backing those systems because I'm a STEM kid, so I'm all for technology and the sciences and advancing them. I'm here for that, but I'm only here for it if it's based or rooted in us growing, not not xing out artists and now you just recopying people's work and you stealing people's work and all that that weird energy that's associated with that. I don't need a generator bot to tell me nothing about my brand. I mean, hey, if you see me out in the robot universe, cool. But I'm not relying on AI to do anything for me technologically, unless I'm lazy and like, hey, can you turn this background blue? Like, I think that's maybe the extent of me using AI.
Right.
But other than that, I'm old school. I love the digital collage, so any little thing or using the photoshops and stuff. I know AI is not a new concept, but how we're using it, I
Today,
think
right?
is
It's a little
is
different.
yeah. And it's like we're now we're diluting factual information. We got everybody confused. You got AI people looking like actual people and spewing, depending on who is the designer, they can be spewing things that ain't really for us. Like you got people cosplaying as black creators that ain't even, I'm like, what is happening? Like it's getting, y'all cosplaying Morgan Freeman online ain't even Morgan Freeman. It's too much.
Yeah.
It's too much. Like we need, I don't want government regulation, make that clear, but we need some type of community, we need boots on the ground, somebody to say, hey, it's limits to this. It's illegal to impersonate. Like, cause ain't that in our federal laws? It's illegal to impersonate so and so. So why are we doing it digitally?
Right. Yeah. I feel like
I
they're
keep.
at some point it's gonna go a little bit like too far with the AI, where they're gonna need to pass some type of law because people just can't be out here doing like whatever they want with people's like this.
Yeah, cause somebody could record your audio and literally sync it to an app or something, and then have you calling your friends asking for money. Like it's insane. Like it's insane the levels it goes, and it sucks because I'm like, yo, all that wasted energy, and we really could just be dedicated to our efficacy, but that's too much. Like, right? That's me being uh big hearted and assuming the best, but I don't know, girl. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still on the. I don't know. I mean, again, no shade to anybody to use it. If you are one of those intelligent folks that are already naturally creative and you just use that to enhance what you're doing, do you? But I would like to protect Mother Earth. I would like. I have a godson. I would like him to actually see a safe world and
Right.
live in it, and not and not have to deal with catastrophe because we wanted to make Obama do the Wu Tang. Like, I think that's crazy. I think that's crazy. It's not that deep, y'all. But yeah. Mhm.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us today, Days. I had a wonderful time talking with you. I loved a lot of your advice that you were giving to aspiring creators, and it was just a wonderful conversation. Um,
Yeah. Well, first I have to say thank you, ladies, for coordinating the time and making the things work and setting things up to meet and talk with me. I'm still shocked that people want to hear anything that I have to say. But I'm always appreciative to folks that support me and that continually support me. And I appreciate you ladies for taking the time out to talk with me. It was a pleasure talking with you.
Thank you so
Um,
much.